We're sampling the truth on tonight's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's season 11, episode 13, Cake Therapy, starting now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Housewives After Show. Hello, everyone. It's your host, Grants__Rants on Twitter. I can't take this seriously.
I love it.
Yes. And we're ready to go in on Lisa Rinna in tonight's episode. At least I am. Joining me tonight, I'm so glad to have her back. Luke is here.
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Christy Olson here. You can hit me up at Christy Reports. I've missed you all.
I know. We missed your POV here on the panel. And guest hosting tonight.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Leone. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV, filling in for Chris. So thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome.
Yay.
Hey guys, I'm Thomas Orlina. I'm working on a new project called Your Time with Thomas. Make sure to check it out. At Thomas Orlina is my handle.
Nice. Well, welcome back to the panel. Enjoy this brief moment of Wilson Phillips.
Have you got to hold it?
It's just like bridesmaids vibes right now.
Lisa Rinna couldn't hold on for one more minute this episode. The truth was out. Let's talk about everything that happened briefly. Lisa Vanderpump, Kyle have a conversation. Carney Wilson is coming over. She's got desserts. Lisa Vanderpump is opening up a store for dogs. What were your thoughts on kind of the first half before we get into the party? Let's talk about this, just where we're keeping up with everyone starting off. And I want to know what your thoughts are. Christy, you've been gone for a minute, and you're new to the show, so I want to hear what you have to think as well. We'll just kind of go through a brief highlight real quick.
I was fine with the first half hour until the second half hour happened. That made me realize that the first half hour didn't really give us a whole lot.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm glad that we finally got the catalyst. I've been waiting for this conversation. To be honest with you, when I went back and watched it home the last couple weeks, I kind of thought like, well, there wouldn't have been a whole lot to say about all that anyway. To be honest with you.
We were pulling here. Yeah.
Same?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen?
I mean, it was slow because it was this build-up, and it was a constant build-up. I was just like, okay, when is Lisa going to actually own it? Like, she's always saying, we're waiting, we all know you said it, you know you said it, even though she forgot. And she's been putting all these things together and came to the conclusion that she did say it. So, yay!
Yeah.
So I was just constantly waiting, so I'm happy that the second part happened, and it was so packed.
Yeah, I love the second part of the show too, but I think that the audience has been waiting for this. I think it was a really good moment for everybody, really.
Yeah, I mean, last week was such a filler for me, and it was like they really could have just had that conversation after they did the charity event. So it's like really that was like the whole week last week was just like on pause waiting for tonight. So let's talk about it. Let's just get right to the event. Kyle is very excited for Kim to be introduced to Carney and for them to meet. And Carney, so very quick. So, well, is she sober? She just got to the point. I like it because
I love that.
Everyone's been so careful with Kyle and, oh, are you okay? Is her sister okay? Like, we're not gonna bring up the elephant in the room. This one just said, oh, is she sober or what?
You know, sober people are very concerned with who is sober and who is not and how sober they are, and it just, I don't know if they take the time that they used to spend maybe drinking and use that for talking about sobriety. Like if that, for some reason, they're just like highly concerned about everybody else's sobriety.
Yeah, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah, right?
They encouraged it.
I guess it's a good thing that it's open, that it's a discussion, that it's something that she can just say outrightly in a conversation like, oh, is she sober?
Right.
I love Carney though. Just flat out. She did that multiple times in the night.
Yeah.
Lisa and Erica are on their way, and Lisa has a gift in hand. It's a gift to her good friend that she's been talking so much major about. Kim, well, both of them too. And Erica, she tells Erica, I said everything. And Erica's face was like, oh, yeah. She's like, you're going to be effed.
I thought that was really smart for her to do that, to prepare herself for the moment, to let everybody know, because that's really what you need to do in those situations, because if you're going to shock everybody at once, I don't think everybody is ready for that. So I think she did her, she did her research, she figured out how to figure out to tell everybody on their own, and it kind of worked for her, really.
That this was like testing the water, sort
Oh
of.
yeah,
see
it
what
was
the
one by
reaction would
one.
be.
It was let's talk in the limo, let's talk in the living room, and then she just walked
Then
right
I'm ready for
outside.
the backyard. She told the least judgmental people, you know, she said her piece
True.
with Erica, see what Erica said, and she saw Erica's face, and then she brought it up to Eileen, and Eileen already was, I don't want to jump ahead,
Yeah,
but,
that's cool.
but yeah, she knew what she was doing,
Yeah.
and
She did.
was walking into her funeral, as you put
Yeah.
it. She really was.
Someone else who knew what they were doing, Kim, bringing this very tall girl, the sponsor, with her, and it was like, oh, we're just bringing her along. I knew from the minute she walked in, this was a strategy, in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
In a
Definitely.
good one. Just like, see, I don't need everyone's help. I'm not asking for, I'm not denying anyone's help because I'm got it taken care of on my own. So I'm like, all right, I can get behind that.
And Kim is smart, and I'm kind of surprised that she didn't bring this person around sooner.
True. Yeah. We haven't
good
really
point.
seen anyone from that world of the program or whatever she's practicing. We haven't really heard her. She's been very quiet. So this kind of is the first time she's really letting us into that, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a publicist told her what to do. She's like,
Yeah.
hey, you got to get
Yeah.
on something because the news is saying one thing and the show
Yeah.
says one thing. So
That was good.
Just because I love this one loves the mention of Kingsley, I just feel like that was the only thing. I feel like that was the only thing we saw her use kind of as like a therapy was the getting this dog.
Yeah.
Which clearly wasn't a good choice.
it wasn't a good idea.
It didn't work out so well for Kingsley either.
No, poor thing, yeah. Well, Eileen and Kyle are having caviar, and Eileen says that she thought that Kim's been sober the times that she's seen her, and that she still stands behind her friend Lisa Rinna. And we were watching, and you mentioned good friend.
Who's a good friend?
Eileen to
Oh,
Rinna.
Eileen.
No, I think I
Eileen is.
mentioned that
Oh,
she was a good
okay,
friend. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Eileen is a very good friend though. She always kind of pads everything, and she does own it, but she knows when to step aside and knows when Lisa is in the wrong because she has been, and she knows when she's in the right, which
Right.
you know. It hasn't been recently.
It's kind of like she's like, that's where I leave you. This is the line I draw from keeping you in the safety net.
But I think that's why Eileen can continue to be the right person to be BFFs with Lisa Rinna,
yeah.
because she doesn't necessarily jump to her aid all the time or defend her. So when she does, or when she does speak up on Lisa Rinna's behalf, you can go, oh, okay, I'll consider that.
Right.
Yeah.
And she probably knows that too. Like, okay, I'll be definitely not validated if I do that. So
Right. She's got to keep her own credibility.
Well, Eden, the entrances were very interesting. The
Love.
pairings of how they all showed up. So it was Eden and Eileen that had arrived, and Kim's skin is crawling at this very sight of Eden walking into her sister's house.
I hated to hear Kim say that.
Yeah.
She always says stuff like that though.
She
Just-
does.
She does really jabs and then she doesn't own it. So I don't know. She always says things like, well, I don't know, I don't like her.
I felt bad for Eden though, like just in that moment, just kind of being not acknowledged by Carney and her and by Kim. I felt bad for her.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I feel like Carney almost like looking at body language. I feel like she was almost like moved.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we've all had that. I've had that moment, and where it's like you have someone kind of like move away from you, and you're trying to have a conversation.
I'm sure there was so much pre-converation before Carney got there
Where
that
did
she
that
kind of had
happen?
an opinion.
That's never happened before.
We never prep any of these women.
No.
But it made me wonder, like, what's Carney's beef with Eden?
Right.
You know, so obviously she's been clued into everything, but she just really, she doesn't seem like the kind of person to just steadfastly, like, take Kyle and Kim's side without talking to Eden. You know, so I just
Yeah.
thought it was very odd that, and Kim and Carney knew exactly what they were doing, sitting there talking about, oh, idiots and this and that. It was like, that seemed really, came across as really mean-spirited. And I don't,
Yeah.
and I don't really see Carney as being that type of woman.
Right.
It was confusing.
Yes.
Producers. It has to be. When it's
Yeah.
confusing, that's the answer.
Eden, I can relate to a moment very familiar to where we are now. Anyway, let's talk about other things. And Eden, so she's really mad that Eden repeated Lisa Rinna's lie. So she's really upset, obviously, and we'll get into it more. I was hoping that Kim would try to see a little bit of gray space here, the way kind of Kyle did, too, in the beginning, but not really. Anyway, Rinna arrives with the bunny.
Of course.
Very proud with
Yeah.
that bunny.
So proud. We had to watch it twice. She had that smile on her face, and even Kim was like, "You're gonna give me a bunny after all that you put me through? Really?"
It just seems silly.
It did, yes. And then so Lisa Vanderpump walks in, and and as soon as she gets in, she said that she's gonna need a drink, of course. And then she says, "Oh, hello, Erica Jane." And I just felt like that was shade. To me, that was shade.
That was.
Because she kind of gave her a once-over. Erica had the high hair, the short dress, and she just kind of, like, that's not her name, it was just shady to me. Did you think so? I thought so.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
Always those little slides.
Yeah.
I love it.
I used to be really annoyed, and now I'm like, now that we're hearing that this is it for Lisa Vanderpump this season, I'm almost gonna kind of miss that.
I can sense that from you, by the way, from this side of the table. I'm like, you're gonna miss Lisa.
I'm gonna miss the silent shade. Like, they need someone in there who's just gonna be able, like. They
It's like
literally-
snarky shade.
Yeah, they
Yes,
literally-
snarky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they literally didn't even have the camera on her when she said it. It was just like in the audio, and I'm like, that's good. I like it. Get it in there.
It's that British thing,
Yes.
Right.
I think they
British
thought like,
humor.
oh, we'll get this fake British chick, Dorit, to come in, and she'll be able to do the same thing. But LVP's the queen.
Yeah, well, I guess. I mean, I'm still not a huge fan, but I'm giving props with it. I mean, look, I want to see a mess of a TV show, and if she's going to deliver a mess, which she read, I mean, there was a mess to read coming up, and she
tonight,
was there.
yeah.
Yes.
The crown is heavy, darling. So leave it where it belongs.
So Kim even called Lisa Rinna very fake, so fake, and I was like, yeah, that really was a real phony interaction, even for Beverly Hills, And Kim removes herself from Eden's presence. She couldn't even look at her. She got up and walked away. Like, what was going through Eden's head? I can only imagine. I mean, no one was talking to her as far as the edit that we received. She was just kind of hanging up by herself.
She's pretty strong because throughout the season, she's been in some weird situations. So for her to just be there and holding her own, I think that says a lot about her personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
She could have just
Yeah.
like floated around the party, but she just was right there, even though no one was talking to her.
That's true, but she made herself available should Kim want to have a talk or really make everything come to head. But I mean, I was so confused at this point why Kim is still so upset with Eden. If now she understands that Lisa Rinna said these things, and it's not like Eden went telling the whole town. She just talked to Lisa Vanderpump about it, and it seemed like Kim had made up her mind that she was going to have a problem with
Yeah.
Eden, and that was just how it was going to be.
I think that I know she'll never do it, but she should almost credit Eden in a way in saying, look, you spoke out on what was being said about me and my sobriety, because if she's saying this to Eden, then who else is she saying this to? So at least we got her, we shut her down, and we wouldn't have even been in this position if you had not spoken up to Lisa Vanderpump, because I wouldn't even know that Rinna said this about me.
I think Kim being a veteran, I think she's seen how women have played out throughout the season. So I think she's just kind of being guarded with how things are, because you never know. Some of these housewives come on the show to make storylines for themselves. So I think she's going to be more compassionate towards Eden for sure. Maybe.
I didn't think about that.
We're getting lots of love in the chat tonight. I want to give a
good.
shout out here to Victoria and Tabitha and Roro, Elvin's there, Charlie, everybody. So thanks, guys, for joining in the convo.
How are they
Yes.
feeling? What's the consensus?
We
What's the
wanna
vibe
know.
in that chat?
Tabitha said, I think Rinna should have taken Kim aside. Kim could have brought her sponsor. Oh, that's true. I think the sponsor could have been the Switzerland.
Like a one-on-one with the sponsors, a third party, kind of like you said, to kind of balance it out. It is serious to these women anyway, so I guess maybe a one-on-one would have been perhaps a better choice than literally 15 women in black shirts yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
But
They
what
were
kind
all
of
like-
show is that?
You know what I noticed? This is so random, but I felt like Eileen's jumpsuit went from blue to black when she was sitting down. I need to go home and watch that again. I was like, why does everybody look like everybody's in black?
They really did.
I think they were probably playing with the coloring of the video
I have
just
to
because
watch
it was
that.
getting dark during the time,
True.
and they didn't want jump cuts and things. So I think they probably had a filter on that whole thing.
You know what? I think you're
Yeah.
Actually,
Smart.
good
Very
point.
smart.
And it was
Okay.
like all of a sudden dark, but they like covered it until it was really dark.
Yeah.
You watch with a close eye. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
the way you
Always.
think. Yes. Well, let's take a moment before everything pops off and do cheers and jeers, highs and lows, little things that caught our attention in this episode, because God, there was a lot. So we'll talk about our cheers first, and then we'll go into our jeers. We'll each do one at a time. And yeah, I'll go into my cheers first, which is just having the realness of Carney on this show.
That was
She was
mine.
quite busy. It's okay, you can explain why too. She was very real. She's sober as hell, as she claims, and she's just all about just getting these desserts seen and heard all over the place. So yeah, I'll let you get into the moments you liked with her in a moment. But yeah, I was happy to see Carney on the show because I really enjoyed her on Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
Because she was pretty unfiltered and real. So I thought she would bring in this, and she did. She was there on business and for a good time.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
My cheers go to Lisa Vanderpump doing the American accent every time. Who was she imitating? Lisa Rinna tonight.
Rinna.
Every time she does, I die. It's just like the most entertaining thing that I've ever seen. It's even better when she does a Southern accent. But either way, it's just like she's going there, and I can appreciate it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Well, you know, obviously Carney and the realness of her. These cakes, and she was like, I'm holding it in my hand.
Girls,
cute.
girls.
Girls, yes. Love it. I just really like the reaction between all of the ladies tonight because, you know, last episode, yeah, there was a little bit here and there, but this one, it was just boom, 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 back and forth. They're like their little digs at each other, and also their little praise. They did their thing. Yeah, I liked it. It was like really like old school Housewives, and I love it.
Oh my God, I think it was old school. I like that. I agree.
I was gonna say fashion, but I love their fashion every week, especially Dorit's. You guys already know. But I have to say my cheers is Kim bringing her sponsor. I thought that was like the smartest thing to do to shut down all the rumors. I mean, if I was in that situation, I would have brought somebody too.
Yeah.
So I love Kim for doing that, and for surprising Lisa Rinna at the end, because I don't think she announced her as her sponsor until they got into that conversation. Because she was like, "This is my sponsor."
Oh, she didn't
So
tell the rest of the ladies.
I don't
We
think she
knew.
did. Yeah.
She pulled
right.
that card out.
That was good.
Yes.
Smart
So,
move. Yeah.
Cheers on Kim.
Okay, Kim.
All right, let's give our jeers. What are we not feeling? For me, it's the lack of Dorit. I mean, she was so polarizing in the beginning, and I love to hate her and that husband. But, I mean, we didn't see the husband in this episode, rightfully so. I mean, he did not need to be there. But Dorit, we'll get into it. I mean, Dorit jumped in for a moment, but I feel like it was, like, so Dorit heavy, and now we're just kind of getting, like, little tidbits. But it looks like that will be turning soon.
I think so. Well, my jeers also go to Lisa Vanderpump. I just wish that she would open her mind, and if it is open, then tell us your explanation for this. She's so disturbed by the torture of dogs that happens in Yulin, and I think we all are, of course. Yet she doesn't liken it to the way that animals are treated before they land on the plate that she serves at Sir and at Pump and at Villa Blanca. And I just really need her to explain why she's so disturbed by what happens to these dogs, and yet has no problem with the conditions that animals are raised in America to be served to us for food. And I just need her to either explain that or think about it. Something, give me something. That's my jeers. Sorry.
Ooh, good point.
Yes.
And people don't talk about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just, it's the editing for me, just in this episode, just a little bit. Because you're right, Dorit wasn't in it a lot, and I'm sure she said a lot. And same thing with Erica, and same thing with, Eden. They just, there wasn't a lot of talking. I heard a lot of Rinna over and over and over again. Beating that horse. It's dead, and we know you said it. We get it. I want to hear all the other ladies.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. And even Lisa Vanderpump, there was, she was the second, I think, talking wise. But
Yeah.
I want more.
Well, my jeers also goes to Kim. I didn't really appreciate the tone when she was comparing Eden's sister and her and Kyle. You know, I won't say that it was a lack of compassion, because I'm not going to follow what Lisa Rinna or actually what Kyle said. It's just the tone. You know, it was just such a dark, super dark thing to even talk about. So,
She went dark.
yeah. Half and half on Kim tonight. She gets a cheers and jeers.
I can go with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eileen and Rinna had a moment in the living room, and that's when Rinna owned up to everything to Eileen, and Eileen was not only shocked and overwhelmed. I mean, the look on her, she didn't know what
She's
to
like,
do
oh
with that
shit,
information.
I can't back
Yeah.
on this girl.
But she was also disappointed in her friend. I mean, what's she gonna say? You know, I mean, of course. So then Kyle arrives, and we're like, oh my god, are they gonna like have a thing here? But Carney had to let them know the desserts are ready.
It was time to sample, you guys.
Wait, do you guys think though that happened on purpose to get them outside so all the ladies could hear the drama, or by producers, or do you think that it was, you know,
I think it was
true?
Oh yeah,
producers.
Carney,
Okay.
get in there and
Just
get
wondering.
we want to get this on tape and everyone's reactions. Get in there and get them out here.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I got it from like a different perspective. I got it like Carney went rogue and was like, "We're doing this," and some producers were probably pissed because they were like, "No, we're having a moment with these three. Like, don't like let us play this out." You know, because I feel like that's just my opinion, but I feel like those scenes are so controlled. You know, I mean, you've got a girl or a man on the floor typing, transcribing the full scene, and if it's like two audio guys, like they're set up. So when someone comes in and is like, "Come on, we're going," it's like story producers must have been pissed. I don't know. It could go either way, but that's just what I'm thinking.
That's a good point.
If we had a show just on theories, it could go on forever with
I
these
love those
shows.
theories.
I know. We need like a set side insider. That's what we need on the show.
Yeah.
Someone who can risk losing.
A little production assistant.
We don't pay for juicy tidbits. But
Yeah, no.
If you're out there, you can find us at.
Well, Kim takes a very anxious sip. I don't know if you caught it, but she was drinking coffee or something, and she took a very anxious sip. And then Rinna goes, "Oh, Kim, can I talk to you for a minute in front of all these people in black?" I'm like, oh, here we go. Even she said, like, oh, I'm going in. And she explains the past game night and her reaction the next day. And she says, I said them, whatever was said, I said it. And Kyle is immediately pissed and shocked by this.
That was shocking.
Yes, because she said, you know, Rinna lied to me straight to my face in Mexico. She did. She lied to all of us. And then Kim said it's all very uncalled for. And then Lisa jumps in. Lisa Vanderpump, of course. She says to Rinna, oh, you're just so comfortable maligning people. And I knew that she was going to have to say something.
Prediction.
you called it like, right before they started talking.
Yeah, I said she's going to make sure that Rinna really goes down for this. She's going to delegitimize Rinna completely because she's got a captive audience, you know?
Yes.
Everyone's seeing it play out. Well, Rinna claims that she felt provoked by Kim, and then Dorit pipes up. What did she say? She says that she didn't remember any angry comments or anything agitating coming from Kim towards Lisa Rinna. What'd you make of that comment? What'd you make of Dorit jumping in? I was surprised.
Dorit, you've been here for like 2 seconds. Just sit back and watch for a while.
Yeah. I wanted more from
Same.
Dorit. I just, you know, she has so much, but she is just very not on the show.
She could have said something, but they could have cut it. I always think that. But yeah, I mean, come on, we need more. That was my thing. Was
I'm
the
surprised Lisa Rinna didn't call out Lisa Vanderpump. Like, I feel like Lisa Rinna doesn't do that enough, where she calls out people on their stuff when Lisa.
scared of LVP.
She is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But she, in that moment, if somebody would have done that, I would have been like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that right now? This isn't about you." But Lisa Rinna doesn't do that.
Well,
you
she
know?
probably didn't think she had the place. She was just
True.
like, I'm in my grave right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Dead.
Well, Lisa Vanderpump didn't stop there. She said, "Oh well, to Rinna, you made a judgment call questioning her sobriety." Well, of course, that's gonna go right up Kim. And Rinna says, "Well, that you know, a normal sober person doesn't behave the way Kim did at that game night."
That was a silly thing to say.
You don't, yeah. Why would you
a lot
say
of
that?
silly things Lisa Rinna has said.
I'm just gonna chalk
doesn't
it up
think.
to her being like an impassioned moment for her. That's the only thing I can think of. Because why would just keep your mouth shut and just take it? You know you're gonna get it from all angles. Don't add fuel to the fire in front of this woman.
And this was the point too for if Lisa Rinna was kind of waving her white flag, then that would have been the time to stop trying to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Eden is called to the carpet for repeating what she said about Kim, and then Kyle tells LVP to make a decision, choose a side. Kyle was pissed, and it's good. It's always good to see angry Kyle with the finger out.
She wanted Lisa to pick a lane. She got real hot.
Yeah, she did.
I think the thing with Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump is that Kyle is so insecure in that friendship because she knows she should be, because it never really seemed like a legit friendship anyway.
Yeah, it's an alliance, really.
Yeah, and so I think they both just get very nervous about where it's going between the two of them. And that was Kyle saying, like, don't give me a reason to be mad at you. I don't want to have, like, we don't want to go there again. Pick my side. I mean, she was saying pick a side, but she was saying pick my side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eden claims she did not come in judging Kim, and then Kim says, well, I am not your sister. This is not the same situation. This is not the story of you and your sister. And I'm sure that's the voice of a lot of fans, because a lot of people were like, you know, this woman, Eden, needs to let the hell up. But yeah, then everyone was convicting her of being not compassionate. And I mean, you know, I get it though, like the tensions are high at this point in the episode, so I'm not surprised that people are kind of stumbling a little bit and making the wrong decisions on what they're saying, because, like, you know, you let it go, you know, you get pissed. When I get pissed, I mean, I say things, I go there, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's a lot of
guilty.
ego being thrown around now. It's like, oh, you could say this about me, but I can't go there about you. Well, I'm going to go there. It's constant battle, you know, climbing each other. It's a lot.
I think usually I appreciate the one-on-ones to just lay out your problems with the person that you have problems with, but I do like the fact that it was a group conversation. Considering it's been so messy, this was a chance to just, nobody has any questions, and if you do, let's come over here and come to the table. Sign your name.
And it's good for us as viewers, because now we don't need to see all the one-on-one lunches and dinners. Well, did you hear that they met and now they're claiming this? And then did you see that they're claiming this? It's like, oh, good, just get it all done.
We got it. We got it all out.
We're good. Let's go to Hong Kong. We're good to move on. Almost.
And, you know, I did understand that Kim would be upset. And Eden did make the comparison, I feel, or they made it sound like she did a few times. She said, you know, it reminds me of the situation with me and my sister. She didn't say this is exactly like it and Kim's gonna die, but she did say it reminds me of that, and that's why I feel so compelled to be connected to these two. Right. You know, so I could see where Kim was saying like, oh, you think it's like us, but her tone was wrong. Kim was wrong in that moment, and I hate to say that.
Kim still thinks, though, that Eden has it out for her. She still doesn't trust anything, so it's constantly like she still thinks that in her head, so she's gonna go at her like that. That's true.
It's gonna be interesting to see when they get to the reunion, if they do bring Kim out, which I feel like they would.
They should.
I was
think
thinking that it'd be a
she's
perfect place for
probably
her,
gonna have a different tone of how she approaches Eden. I see like a hug or something like between them, so we'll see.
I bet they'll cart her out, and Andy will ask her, how's your grandson? Now let's get into all this.
For sure, because as much as she's popped up this season, she's got to be contracted.
Oh yeah.
And we all know that part of the contract is you have your butt at that reunion.
You know what I don't
that's
get?
true.
I don't get why we see Camille so many times, but I know you love Camille, but she doesn't. She's just there.
Yeah.
I wish that she would chime in or something, you know?
Even I have stopped expecting her to contribute to the story. I'm just like, oh, good, she's there, but like, yeah.
She looks amazing every time.
Yeah, but even I've kind of accepted that we're just not going to get it from her, I guess. I don't
Well,
know.
it just makes me wonder what their intention is to have her there. You know, if you're not going to really give her a role in any of the storyline or have her speak up, is she just there so that they can say, oh, Camille is on the show and they know people like her? Or what's
Maybe they're
the
bringing
purpose
an
then?
original feel to the show. Just she was one of the first people. Just
Maybe,
make this come
yeah.
full circle since there's been so many new women.
Yeah.
They say they do cut so much from this show, like even scenes with contracted housewives. I would suggest they give her a scene to kind of reflect on things, maybe with Kyle, since they're tight now. But maybe they did, and we're just not seeing it. I know they said that they cut a lot, and that's with the main ladies. So I don't know. Meanwhile,
Don't cut Camille.
I know, because then it's like, why is she here if we're not seeing her like play ball? But anyway, Lisa Rinna is upset. Kim is upset. Eden is quiet. And then Lisa Rinna says, well, you know what? You made the comments about my husband, so that pissed me off.
Oh, here we go.
I think she needs to let it go at this point. I really think Lisa Rinna needs to let it go.
If there's no truth to them, what are you so upset about? You know?
I think it just is
I
the
don't
exact
get it.
same thing as Kim is accusing her of doing. And it's just it's almost too perfect not to bring it up, because essentially everything that Kim is saying Lisa did to her in lying about her sobriety and all this is really what Kim's intentions were to do to Lisa Rinna in that situation.
I didn't think think about it.
So
That's
I mean,
messy.
I've
That's
heard
messy.
enough about it too, but in this, it was a good argument. I
So
think.
it bears
Yeah.
mentioning. You
She
believe
had
it bears
something to
mentioning.
say
Okay.
to back
Okay.
up
All
why
right.
her actions are the way they are.
Yeah.
In the middle of all this, Erica claims that she's going to be an alcoholic if they don't finish this shit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa Rinna then apologizes. Eden says she did not want to hurt Kim. And then Lisa, so it's like, okay, we're good, you know. And then Lisa Vanderpump is like, but are you sure?
She wants them to be really effing good. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you mean this? Like, they were having a good moment. We're finally all on the same page for like a hot second. And then you got that one coming in. But do you mean it?
Oh, just love her.
It makes it interesting, you know, it does. I mean, she's a pain in the ass, but it makes it interesting. All right. Our thoughts on Lisa Rinna. I don't want to call it a takedown because that's so negative. And that,
Lisa Rinna takedown.
It was not a
Dun,
takedown.
dun, dun.
But the truth came out. She owned it, I guess, barely, but she did. Meant she'd cop up to it. How do we feel about this announcement?
I thought this was
going
going to be worse. I think she handled it pretty well, Lisa Rinna. I thought there was going to be more of a drama. Maybe that was cut out. I don't know, but she handled it pretty well. I was thinking that there was going to be this crazy brawl, but it was more just, I don't know. It kind of like lowered my expectation of what happened.
Okay, so since I feel like it's such a loaded question, just the whole Lisa Rinna situation. So how do I feel about what happened, or how do
the
I
truth
feel about
coming out? This whole intervention of Lisa Rinna.
You know, I feel like obviously we all knew it was going to happen sooner or later, didn't know when. I thought it would probably be told at the very end, and I'm interested to see how much more there is this season, because I thought that was going to be the big bombshell. And it really wasn't the big bombshell.
I agree.
So they're going to be arguing about something at the reunion, and they can't really, I mean, I guess they could bring this up, but to me, I just feel like it was like a long time coming, and she should have just said it to Kyle's face. And the fact that she didn't, and then she wanted to claim, oh, I don't remember. Like, you're not in second grade. Like, you remember. And it was filmed. We all saw it.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just interested to see what's next, because there's got to be more.
All right.
I think this proved that Lisa Rinna is not manipulative. She's not conniving. She's not coming in with a plan, because this was just pure stupidity from the beginning. When she opened her mouth and said to Kyle, no, that's a lie. I mean, where did she think she was going to go with that? She either should have buckled down and went for it, I don't remember, or admitted it from the very beginning. What did she think was going to happen? This was so ill thought out, Lisa. I'm going to need you to be a better manipulative housewife next time and have a plan and stick to it, okay?
Right. Well, I'm wondering though, because it bought her 2 extra episodes of story by not
It did.
remembering.
Okay.
So I'm trying to question here. You know, she's someone who's been very open that she's here to promote her product line on QVC or whatever the hell it is, and she
point.
and that you know she knew she'd get traction with this. But then again, I think of her becoming so emotional at that night, you know, which she's an actress, people would say, I get it, but, you know, it was the ugly cry. And then, like you said, she looks like lousy and like lying to Kyle and all that. What did she think would come of it? So maybe she is not really playing the game with us. Maybe she really didn't just screw up. I don't know. But I mean, I tend to go with, look, someone knows that they're getting a storyline out of this. Someone who is,
It definitely felt like that.
she's got. This is not the first time she's created her own storyline around Kim. So
Just true that. True that. And you
thinking.
know Harry was the one who she's all like, I talked to Harry about it. He was the one who was like, honey, you know you said it. You gotta tell him you said it. I know you said, like, I can just hear her like beginning to tell this story, and he's like, you said that stuff, didn't you? And she's like, yeah, I did. And he's like, Lisa, I mean, you can just hear it, be a fly on the wall.
yeah. Oh, I think that's so smart. Perhaps. Anyway, that will do it for this week for the recap. I mean, my God, that was a good one though.
Yeah,
This was a good episode.
Yeah, but let's take a look at some news and gossip really quickly though. We got some time
Let's
actually.
do it. Yes, this is a big one. This is so exciting. Can't wait to talk about it with you guys. So reportedly, Erica Jane, Miss Erica Girardi, is joining the cast of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
The
I'm so
upcoming
excited.
Season 24. Now we'll know for sure tomorrow when they announce the
24.
cast. Yeah, 24, dude. On Good Morning America tomorrow, that is Wednesday, they'll be making the official announcements. But we know that she and Heather Morris from Glee have been pretty much confirmed at this point. So that is going to be unbelievable.
So
I will
huge.
once again be watching Dancing with the Stars.
I have a question. Is she a pro or is she a guest? Is she a
That's
star
a
or
great
pro?
point. That's a good point. I mean, she's got a good chance at taking this whole thing.
I think so. I
Not
think so.
just the dance skills, but the fan votes behind her too.
Erica, you're following the footsteps and coming for the crown.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Meanwhile, also coming for some of that attention is one Lisa Rinna, who maybe thought she would distract everyone from all this talk by posting a nude selfie on Instagram.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about this
Straight
last
up
week.
nude. Oh, we
showed
did?
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
She took it down
I
and then
can't
she
soon
posted
forget.
it back up.
Oh.
The pixelate. Yeah. Took it down, put it back up. I mean, she's 53 years old. She looked good, but wow. And speaking of Lisa, the LA Times has a really cute little piece with her from February 25th about her house, and she gives a cute little interview, so make sure you check out those photos. And LVP's, it's Vanderpump Dogs, I believe it's called, is opening tomorrow, the grand opening. That's Wednesday. It's in West Hollywood. I was just telling these guys, I ended up right in front of it at some point in the last week, but I don't remember where I was or why I was there. But it is beautiful. It's pink and plushy. She's calling it a puppy palace. So there's apparel being sold there as well. You know, she has a line of like doggy bags and things, and then the dogs are going to be there as well. So make sure you go and check that out if you're in the area. And there were reports online this week that LVP will be leaving the show, which we've heard a lot about. An inside source said she
about
just
that.
can't stand the cattiness anymore, and she was really only doing it to continue her activism.
Right.
So.
And I think that was obvious the last 3 seasons. I feel like she's just kind of been there to hawk business. And she's got her own show next door.
And Vanderpump Rules is doing so well, better than ever. She just doesn't really have a need for this anymore, I don't
I didn't know it was doing that well. I mean,
It's
I'm
doing so
watching
well.
well. Good for them. Good, yeah. All good stuff. Yeah. I'm looking forward to what's coming up. I want to see this trip. I feel like it's time for this Hong Kong trip, right?
Yeah, we gotta be getting there.
Okay, yeah, there's got to be drama there.
Yeah, let's
can't
predict.
wait.
Let's do a quick prediction, shall we?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Dorit and Erica.
I've been waiting for that, by the way. And by the way, I love Dorit's haircut, like the bob look that she was rocking. That
love
Erica
it.
was calling her about. Yeah. It's a battle of the blondes. I think I said this like at the beginning. I just don't
did?
see them really getting that close. It's the battle of the blondes. I can't wait to see what the argument is going to be about, and I'm excited for it.
We're also going to get to know Erica a little better, I think, next week when they show her. That's her mom. I don't know if she goes to visit her is it Georgia, right where she's from? Or
think
if
she
mom
does
comes to
visit.
Beverly Hills. But I would
Yeah.
love to see her childhood home and just find out more about what makes Erica Jane tick, you know?
Because didn't she use Tom's jet to go see her? Didn't they have that conversation
Oh, that's
last
right.
week?
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
just assuming it's the same trip.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
I can't wait for that. And I also think between she and Dorit, I don't think, unfortunately, that we've heard the last of Pantygate. That's coming back around, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you can bet on it all coming out at this reunion, which it's taping right in 2 weeks, I think. So it's like Chris would know if he was here. He'll let us know the exact date. But yeah, I mean, it's like right around the corner, which means we're kind of 3/4 of the way through on this show instead of Glee.
fast.
So yeah, but these trips, you know, when they're in that pressure cooker and they're all together and they're jet lagged, it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, someone's
just
going to
waiting for
bring up
that.
Rinna and the Xanax again, too. I think we haven't heard the last of that.
Right. So yeah, pills, potions, all that stuff. We're gonna talk. I know it's coming out, and there's gonna be drama, maybe even some. I don't know if there's gonna be anything being thrown because we probably would have seen that.
Well, Eden still has to call someone a bitch.
You can only hope.
Yes.
right.
Eden has to call someone a bitch. So there's a lot coming up, and I want to, just connect all the dots. I'm trying to think. I'm excited for the trip because I do know that there's going to be the fights and the Battle of the Blondes with those girls. You know, I don't think that Erica is going to pick up, and I don't think it's going to be that big. There's probably going to be something bigger off of that. Probably the panties, and then move forward from that. So we'll see. That's my prediction.
I feel like on this show they always do the trip and they have one last episode and that's the finale when they're all back in Beverly Hills
Yeah.
and things come to a head. So in a way, I don't really want to rush the trip because once that's over, then we're pretty much at the end. If they follow the same formula we have in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And please keep up with us on all social media platforms and let us know your thoughts. Thomas, where can we find you and what are you doing?
Hey guys, I'm Thomas Orlina. I'm working on a new project called Your Time with Thomas. Make sure to follow me at Thomas Orlina for more details.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, thank you for coming. This is fun. And I'm going to check out Thomas's new project
Yes.
as well.
Yes, congrats.
And you guys can always hit me up at Christy Reports.
And our shout out to Chris, who will return next week. And you guys can find me on my podcast, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. Great Oscar special came up. And it's real, two good insiders. It's really interesting. So it's a good listen. Check it out. It's episode 51 on Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. And you can follow me at Grants__rants on the Twitter. And that'll do it for us. We'll be back with so much more drama to come, only on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.